So, first impressions when you landed 3-4 days ago. What was your thought? I mean, you've been to Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Togo. Your thoughts about this part of the country?
I thought I was gonna sneak in here in the middle of the night, you know, and just get in and get my bags and get on to my place. But you know, they had a full on, you know, regalia band, like
the dance thing,
and I had the Maasai cloth, and like they put the beads on my wife's head, and it was dancing, you know, and I was like, and I just, you know, I was wearing a hoodie, and I got on and sweating, just sweating like you're in a club, and then they put the cameras in front of me, and they're like, okay, let's be on TV now, and I'm just like, this is welcome, yeah, like you know, so it was good, it was a nice, you know, karibu.
Karibu sana. Nice. Karibu sana.
It was a nice karibu. Wala mpaka anajua kilami. I mean Kiswahili na ameshuka jana.
Imagine.
Wewe. Wewe.
Muulize Duma ni nini?
Duma. Okay, apart from karibu, which other Swahili words have you learned?
Oh man, I could break some stuff down for you, man.
Let's go.
Ready? Okay, see if you can follow me. Jambo
sana.
Ndugu wapenzi. Ni wakati wa masika ardhi ilonikiwa na mvua zilinyesha. Sasa ardhi inaona njaa, lazima mwilishe. Nituwapeni mbegu wa mwende. No, we can stop there. But you know, hey, I learned this when I was 17 years old, man. No, bro, listen, my first professional job, I graduated from high school.
Yeah.
We're doing the show that was traveling around the U.S., 40 cities, 22 states. And that was in 1988. I learned this monologue. So I would take this my first professional job. So I go out to audition for new jobs, and I'd be like, "Namtafuta binti fulani awe malkia wangu, lakini sitaka mishana wowote." And then, you know, like
now do that slowly. Do that slowly.
Okay, well that's the Barry White version. If I do it slowly, now anyway, I would do that, and they'd be like, "That is so fantastic. Do you have anything in English?" And I'd be like, "No, that's all I got." I didn't know as a young actor getting started, you know, like this was my first sort of cutting my teeth and learning that, oh, you have to have classical, contemporary, comedic, dramatic monologues just ready to come out. And so that began my understanding of what it meant to be prepared as an actor. But this is funny because, you know, this learning Swahili was my first first monologue I ever learned.
Where did you get it from?
Yeah, why Swahili?
Because the play that we were doing was it was done in a pantomimic form, so we were doing African dance, and so it was a play called Kalulu and His Money Farm, based on like sort of Brer Rabbit, you know, like the grandfather of Brer Rabbit was Kalulu, like this I think is Shona, like from the Shona people. So folktale, and then we were doing Rumpelstiltskin also in the same manner. And so this woman from I believe it was Tanzania, she came and she was our vocal coach, and we learned. So we were speaking Swahili, and we had a narrator speaking English. So we would take the show around to all these schools and theaters in the country, and you know, that was the vibe. It was like pre-Lion King, you know what I mean? Like the same sort of design. So anyway, that's what we were doing. But I was 17. And I learned, that was the first speech I ever learned, and I use it for my vocal warm-ups for different shows because, you know, I love Swahili because it's phonetic. Like I can read it. The words look like they sound.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's that's really cool. So
where did you grow up?
I grew up in Chicago, and then we moved to Minneapolis. I went to the same high school as Prince. Like he graduated before me. We weren't classmates. Right. Just saying. But Minneapolis at the time, in the 80s, was full of, you know, there were more theater practitioners in Minneapolis than there were per capita than in New York at the time. So there was like, you know, theaters all over the place. So that's where I cut my teeth and started growing and learning as an actor, and that's part of the reason why I'm here to share that experience in like these times that I've been living in, to actors who are been in the game for a minute and younger actors who are just getting started, and so it's just a really unique opportunity to be able to, you know, share my life experiences and my training and stuff like that with, you know, my experience with Hollywood as it is.
Did you know this? Did you know this was your thing?
Yeah, since I was in second grade, bro. Since like I remember wanting to go to, the kids wanted to go to recess. And I'm like, masters, no, we must rehearse. We must. Like, this dude's crazy. Like, get out of here. But second grade. So yeah. So this I've been doing this. Like I've been wanting to do it since then. So I mean, it's a dream realized. And it goes up and down, man. This business is crazy. So it's not for the faint of heart. But if you love it, you got to do it.
When did the big break come?
My big break was probably like this play that I'm telling you about. Like when I was 17, I'm first time being paid to be an actor. But in terms of being thrust out into like the zeitgeist of on the world stage, I think probably the big break came from the television show where I'm playing Lieutenant Commander Borders on the show called The Orville with Seth MacFarlane, and that was like the reaching millions of people as opposed to hundreds per night kind of thing. But and then like this latest movie with the Planet of the Apes, the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, that was worldwide. Because there were people in China, there were people in London, there were people in like South America, there are people all over the world seeing this movie. Even though I'm playing a talking orangutan, but like when people hear my voice, they're like, "Oh, you're the guy." So, big breaks. I mean, I don't think there's such thing as a big, breaks come and they go. You know what I mean? So you just gotta. The break is the longevity of the career. It's a marathon. You know what I mean? It's not a sprint at all. So. I don't know. We'll see what happens, tomorrow. I mean, I didn't know a year ago that I'd be here. So, you just never know. You just got to be ready to go with the flow.
Okay. So, why are you here?
I am here as a participant in the Year of Return Africa Summit, which is taking place October 8th and 9th here in Nairobi. And I was invited as in sort of a cultural sort of ambassador to sort of bolster and help, stimulate the creative, space, this creative lane. I'm an actor. I came to help actors train actors that are here, and because as an actor, you don't really get the opportunity to work and train, unlike musicians and other practitioners of even accountants or whatever, people who build businesses. So my idea is that we need to create sustainable spaces around the world for actors to train, because the only way you usually get to work is if you're in a production or if you're in a film or and like that's a lot of an actor's life is waiting to work. And so while you're waiting to work, you get soft, and then you can't get soft. You have to be prepared. So when preparation meets opportunity, you're ready to go. So, and in order to do that, you have to be able to work with companies, your peers, and share ideas and be able to criticize, constructively, work. So, and how do you do that? Well, you have to have a group of people. You have to have material, and you have to exchange. You have to work, warm up and be free and be silly. And be in a space, and hopefully that can be sustainable. You know what I mean? That's the mission. So to build like the sustainable actors gym is what I call it, around, like here and in New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Tanzania, like wherever we can do it. And so this is sort of the first opportunity that I'm having to sort of put this vision into a practical reality space. And it's going pretty good. Some really great, some really cool students that I'm working with, and I don't call them students; these are grown people. But we're just we're working together. As soon as I leave here, I get to go and work with them. And we've been online for like the past month and a half, 2 months meeting, and now we've had our first class a couple days ago, and we're going to be meeting like 3 times a week, 4 times a week, for like the next couple until the conference.
Yeah. How's the talent pool?
Oh man, it's deep. It's deep. I mean, it's a very talented. I mean, and it's not just actors. I mean, there's like they're visionaries. I mean, these are the film and television like people who are making documentaries. Like some of the cats that I'm working with, they come from they call them slums. You know what I mean? But these are some real hard cats, and they have stories to tell. So we're having dialogue about documentaries. You know what I mean? And they're making them documentaries like, guerrilla style documentaries on their phone or whatever is accessible. And then having a place to show them and having a community in which they'll be received. And so now I'm getting these hard guys to work on comedy, monologues and stuff from like the Shawshank Redemption, like Morgan Freeman's character, just breaking these, getting them open and getting them vulnerable and being able to be to exist in that space for just a few hours a day, 3-4 hours a day. You take that and you walk that around. We're working on kinespheric awareness, which is like understanding, your senses, not just like we're so like people who are sighted. That we are dominated by how we receive information through our eyes. So we do a lot of work where we close our eyes and find out proximity and like remember who's standing where and just like listening. And so you need all these tools as an actor, like to sharpen your senses and your ability to listen. That's one of the most important things that it is to be an actor, is to be able to listen, and not just with your ears, but listen with your eyes. I'm watching you, watch me, try to figure out what is this guy talking about, and it's an exchange that's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's part of being, that's part of the dynamics that are required to be an actor.
One of my favorite movies, Shawshank Redemption.
Oh man, oh man.
You get busy living, you
Or
get busy dying. Deep.
I met Andy Dufresne. But I mean,
line,
he's
good
so good in that movie.
Yeah.
He's so, and I saw that movie and I just sat in the theater until they kicked me out. After the credits roll, I was just like, man, that was good.
I want to watch it again.
That was good. I watch it every time it comes on. I just watch it, because, and so this monologue in particular about, Morgan Freeman, like one of these guys in the class, he does this monologue where he goes before the parole board at the end, and this is after Tim Robbins has escaped, and he sees Morgan Freeman sees the freedom happen, and then they come in and he has to go before this parole board and they ask him, "Are you rehabilitated?" Right. And he's like, "I don't give a damn." That's not what he says, but he's like, but there's something about that where he owns his own. His identity as a free man here. It's like he's like, because it's just a word you just make up that just keeping you employed. You don't care about what I'm. So we're unpacking. In this class we're unpacking that monologue in particular. So there's a lot of cool stuff that's happening, and it's a lot of fun more than anything. Mr. Nelson sitting over the corner, he was there and he was like, people things you get to surprise yourself.
How is anyone interested allowed to participate?
You actually can log into the website, yearofreturnafrica.com.
That is Year of Return Africa.
Yep.
Mwaka.
Yes.
Yes.
And you can register there. There's so many things you can get involved in. You can come in as a speaker. We're still welcoming speakers. We're still welcoming exhibitors. And there's actually something in there for everyone. And you can see already, we have Peter here. It's taken us a while. We've been working on this actually for almost a year. Yeah. And we have great people on board. We have creatives. We have entrepreneurs. We're going to have some investors. We're going to have deal rooms where people can be able to communicate from here, business people with the investors and on the other side. So it's going to be a real nice mix of activities, and really everyone is welcome.
Amazing. And it will be happening at the Sarit Center on the 8th and 9th.
Yes, Sarit Center, 8th and 9th. We may also have some side events at the National Museum as well. So everybody just keep tuned, check in on our website, follow our social handles, and you'll be able to get all the information in good time.
Tickets are available. How much are they going for?
Right this moment, we are not selling the tickets. Tickets will be sold to some of the people participating in the deal rooms and those with some special interests. However, for the public, it's going to be open and free.
How are black actors faring in Hollywood? Because there have been concerns in the past.
There have been concerns in the past.
About exclusion.
You're respected when you make your own work. Do you know what I mean? Whatever that is. I mean, and if you, and any, like Francis Ford Coppola, any other major directors, if you want to make a movie, you want to learn how to make a movie, make a movie. You know what I mean? And we're, it's a constant ebb and flow, right? Like there's the writers, there's more material being written by younger or newer voices, being part of the whole, like I like to say zeitgeist is a funny because this is part of this whole consciousness. It's a struggle post-strike, because the writers went on strike and then the actors went on strike. And there was no content, and everyone was out of work for 8 months, right? So there is that. So white actors, black actors, Asian actors, everyone's out of work. But now it's starting to come back. The studios have pulled back on production, almost like 30%, I think, maybe even more. So it's tough, and but it's always been tough. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but I think what is happening as a result of that is that more things are being written, because like when I go back to the notion of tell your own stories, there's so many more stories that need to be told. Oh.
Is there room for African actors post Lupita? I know there's Chiwetel Ejiofor. I mean, I know there's.
There was a time. And even Denzel Washington was talking about this the other day. It's just like, there's a time when I was growing up and my story wasn't being represented anywhere, like in film, in TV certainly, and on the stage barely. So, but that's grown exponentially, and because of the greats like that have come before me, like they've paved the way. Like James Earl Jones was a bulldozer for me. There would be no me without James Earl Jones. And so so I would like to think that I am lending myself in the same, hopefully, the same capacity for younger creatives to come through.
Can you say this is CNN? Let me just say that.
Man, come on. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
This is CNN.
Oh.
That's my homage. You know what I mean? I used to walk around saying that a lot just to practice. Yeah. Can you get it in the right register?
Yeah, there you go.
Come on, Luke. No,
I am your father.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But man, talk about a great, so that level of inspiration is something that, that's what you do. I mean, and the way that I came up is learning from these older actors and learning about etiquette and professionalism and learning about the passion and learning what it is. But who was his example? Paul Robeson, before him, Oscar Michaud making his own independent, sort of his black films and having to put them in his car and take them around the country because he couldn't get distribution. You know what I mean? So it's the whole thing is growing. I mean, if you look at the first Academy Award, this movie Birth of a Nation, you know what I mean? This outlandish, ridiculously racist, film. Sort of got the Oscars rolling, right? And Gone with the Wind, Hattie McDaniel, like the first black woman to win an Oscar, but she couldn't receive it. They wouldn't let her give. So we've grown. It's growing. Yeah. It has a long way to go, but I feel like now the world is smaller because of our cell phones and devices and social media and stuff like that. And people, there's a platform. So when I say make your own work, you can make your own work with a phone and a MacBook, because you can shoot your movie on your phone and you can edit it on your computer, and that's accessibility, because and technology has grown in such a way that we're not shooting on celluloid, we're not going to have to get your movie processed. Everything is digital now, so it's so much cheaper, and so that makes things so much more available, and that means I could tell my story from my own perspective and have it be part of the zeitgeist to be. So you got Cannes and Sundance and all these films, there's room for. I mean, and I feel like the cinema, the idea, because I used to go watch a lot of foreign films when I was in college. And I feel like that notion has come back around. Like the big studios, they make their movies because they make their monies on the big movies like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, or Transformers or whatever.
Yeah. Jackie, are we telling our own stories? Are we telling them enough?
There's a lot of room for growth, and I think we need to do a lot of learning from people, actors in other countries. There needs to be a lot of exchange, a lot of cross-pollination, and we can get there. But there needs to be a lot of solidarity.
And it's normally the aspiration of every actor, young or old, to actually have their work of feature in Hollywood, no matter how successful they've been from a local perspective. But how difficult, how challenging or easy is it to actually land a role when it comes to playing on the big stage?
Some people say it's luck. Some people say it's fate. Some people say it's preparation meets opportunity. I tell you what, after I finished the Orville, which that was, it was nice. I mean, I could take care of my family. We had all the things, right? You know what I mean? Blew a lot of money, but. And it was great because people called me, hey, I was like, I got you. I was just like, and that's not sustainable, but it felt good. And after that show ended, after 5 years of that kind of employment, it was a dream as an actor, right? My family and I left Los Angeles because Los Angeles is a very tough place to live if you're not in that inner sort of sanctum of you don't want to be broke in LA, but but the irony is you have to be broke in LA to get to not be broke in LA. Excuse me. And so I'm saying this to say, so we moved to Atlanta, right? And so I have been for the past 30 something years, I work, and then I'll be out of work for a couple months, 3 months, work and be out of work for, maybe 6 months. I was out of work for almost a year and a half, like from that transition. I sent out 50 audition tapes from the time I left, finished the Orville to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. 50, like a year and a half. Like I did one little independent film in between there that didn't really pay much, but it kept me, because I was starting to kind of you really got to stay mentally strong to because it's not about, you have to have perspective, and you have to be like, well, it's not like it doesn't mean I'm bad, it doesn't mean I'm never going to work again. It's just like it's a machine. There's a lot of moving parts. So to answer your question, it is incredibly difficult until it's not. Like you get a call, like I got a call again, like last week. I was on my way here. I got a call, and like, we want you to come and shoot this out of the blue. Like, where it's like, okay, well, now I have to go to LA tomorrow, and then come back and then fly to Nairobi on Saturday, and that's how it goes. I mean, it's like a lot of hurry up and wait, but you got to be ready when it stay ready so you don't have to get ready, kind of thing. And it's a marathon. Like you could sometimes your career you go here and it goes down and it goes up and it goes down, and it's just that's just the nature of it. And even if you have like if you're a A-lister, there's still, it's just the nature of the whole thing does this, because there's so many moving parts. And so you got to know why you want to do it. You know what I mean? Like I talk to young people and they're like, well, why would you want to be an actor? I want to be famous. I'm like, well, good luck with that. Because even if you do become famous, you're famous for 15 minutes and then like, boom. You know what I mean? Or like you get famous and you do something and you do the wrong thing, say the wrong thing, do something human, you make a mistake, boom, that's it. Like this, it's a tight rope. You know what I mean? So if you love it, and you have to, you know what your lane is, right? Yeah. You got to do this. I have to do this, or I'm going to be a criminal. I know that about myself. You know what I mean? Like it's that or this. So I'd rather, and I'm not being facetious. I mean it, and I don't mean like any kind of criminal. I mean like a cat burglar kind of criminal, like white collar criminal. Like I'm not talking. But I'm saying 50 auditions before. You know what I mean? And every one, I'm like, I want this one, I want this one, I want this one. And when the apes came, I told my wife, I'm like, I really want to do this one, because it's like, what does it mean to be a talking orangutan? Let's find that out. And that was not easy at all, and that's why I loved it. The challenge of doing that, like pushing myself in the craft, like growing, that's what I want to do, and that's what I want to be about. So, and just because I want to be about that and do that, don't mean I'm going to get to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So in the meantime, you gotta, read and study and practice and learn new monologues and just grow your arsenal. You know what I mean? So that you're prepared to do whatever. So it's not easy. And Hollywood is constantly changing, and like Hollywood is an idea. I mean, Hollywood is a physical place, but like Hollywood exists. Like now, post-COVID, we don't have to be. And that's what we decided. It's like we don't need to be in Los Angeles, because the quality of life in Los Angeles versus where we are in Atlanta is exponentially better. Like for my children, for my mother, for my wife, for myself, and so the notion of I gotta go, but it's always been like this giant machine, right? Like it's like, and we export entertainment in the United States. That's our major export. And that's how we, like the people see themselves or view, judge themselves.
The other Kenyan actor I was thinking about who's made it really well in Hollywood, Eddie Gadegi.
That's my man.
Is that your man?
That's my man. That's my boy. I love him.
Good guy.
He's a great dude. I was trying to get him to come here for this, but he's too busy. But Eddie and I did a play in L.A. when I first moved to L.A. Funny enough. This is Harry. Okay, so Harry Lennox, right? Harry Lennox is the man too. So he did his all black production of Macbeth, which is a Shakespeare play that was based on it kind of took place in Dred Scotland, and Dred Scott was famous like slave who sued to get his freedom, and
Correct.
but it was Harry's idea was that it was going to take Dred Scotland was essentially, and we kind of rocked the Kenyan flag. You know what I mean? This is crazy. This is like 2007. I want to say this. We did this play, and Eddie and I were in this play. That's where I met Eddie in this play, and I was playing a bunch of roles. He was playing a bunch of roles. And he's incredibly talented, brother, and he's such a good dude. Yeah. You know what I mean? And but yeah, like he sends his greetings, by the way.
Nice. Thank you.
So I was just chatting with him.
Send them right back.
You know, I mean, even that movie, The Harder They Fall, someone they lost somebody, and I think Dion Cole, like the comedic, the comedian. But Eddie called. He was like, "Yo, we got this role. You know, like tell your people to get on it." Da, da, da. So we try to look out for each other. You know what I mean? Like, and I didn't get it, but that's how we get down. You know what I mean? That's how we look out for each other that way.
Nice.
He's funny. He's stories. But yeah, man. But like it's just like that pride, But like this, ironically enough, like. Our colors for Dred Scotland were like the
Kenyan flag.
Yeah, man. And I bought this 15 years ago. And again, this is one of these things that Kenya keeps coming back in my life. Like with Swahili when I was 17. Yeah. Like that play, this Dred Scotland. I mean, I just bought this because it was fly. I didn't know I was.
You were meant to be here, man.
No, I guess so. That's what it says. Like people last night, you look like you're from Kenya. And I'm like, man, you guys everywhere I go, like you look like me. They want to claim me, which I love it. I'll take me. I'm yours. I'm yours.
And then you start speaking that Swahili line when
hey man, that's all I got. So like it'll run itself out.
I wanted you to do it slowly.
Yeah.
Natafuta binti.
Okay, so
word for word, slowly.
Okay, so this is Rumpelstiltskin, the king in Rumpelstiltskin, and he comes out and he's like, Namtafuta binti fulani, awe malkia wangu. This is CNN.
Did you get what he said? Namtafuta binti fulani. What is that?
I'm looking for a certain young lady, a beautiful lady.
Awe
Be my wife,
malkia wangu.
Sure.
Lakini sitaka mishana wowote.
Lakini
Sitaki msichana wowote.
Okay, maybe I messed that
No,
up.
it's okay. It's good.
Awe lakini sitaka mishana wowote. Awe malkia wangu. This is right. Nita wa beni mwegu.
mbegu.
Yeah. So, forget it. I'm done embarrassing myself.
You're good, man. You're good.
Yo.